Hello, everybody. My name is Spoons Rattling, and today I am being robbed. Okay, so they just announced the Sisters Codex is going on for pre-order this weekend, so I thought I would do a ranking on Sisters units, ones that I like, and so forth. Fun fact: Sisters were the first army I owned myself back in like 2010. The metal original models, though, those models are long gone by now. And maybe I'll put them together for a video or something with the Sisters Codex coming out. So we're starting off. This is the generic Canoness model, who has the Absolver Bolt something. No, that's the special pistol for the Space Marines. The Crucifying Bolt, or whatever it's called. The one with the crossbow on top. Witch Hunter? Witch Seeker? Something like that. This model's fine, but its biggest problem is there's just cooler Canoness models that they don't have on the list here for some reason. But there's the one based on that second edition artwork that's way cooler than this. I'm probably going to put her in, like, I'm going to say, like, C tier. Because, like, it's a fine model. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't think it's very interesting. Celestian Sacrosancts are very cool, though. Sword and board, even though they can't take swords, is always a cool look. And the Sisters pull it off really well with the fleur-de-lis on their shields, and I like the halberds they can take. We have the Castigator Battle Tank, which I know was sort of a mixed reception, but I think it's pretty cool. It gives the Sisters their own version of the Predator tanks, which I'm a big fan of Predator tanks, so I have no problem with this one being here. So let's put the Castigator. We're going to put it in A tier. I quite like the Castigator. Here we have Astrid Durga and Agatha Dolan. I might be getting those backwards, but it's the standard bearer, the fancy standard bearer. And I like standard bearer, but this one sort of suffers from Canoness syndrome, where there's a much cooler one coming up later. So we're going to put these two, who are still fine models, in B tier. They're probably going to end up towards the lower end of that. The Acroflagellants. That's what I called them when I was a kid. The Arcoflagellants are great models. I haven't put them together, but I have seen them a lot. There's a couple Sisters players at my local gaming store. I quite like these guys. I think they look pretty cool. I like the whips for hands. We're going to put these guys in A tier. They feel very classic 40k because, well, they are. The standard Battle Sisters. This is a great set of infantry. I know some people complain they're a little monopose, or they're a little stuck in their poses, but personally, I don't really have a problem with that because that's sort of how it's always been. These poses are just more dynamic. And it's not like the Orcs where their monopose kit is... All the minis are very individualized. All these girls are in power armor, so I don't think it really matters as much. Put these guys in S tier. Sorry, gals. We have one of the losses of the Codex, Crusaders. These models are very boring and are resin D tier. The Demonifuge and Ethereal Stern, not ephemeral, that's a different word. These guys are cool. The Harlequin and the Sister, I like the posing on them. I like the checkerboard effect coming from the Demonifuge. We are good. It's not Demonifuge, is it? Yeah, it is the Demonifuge. Sorry, I was getting confused with the Demon Host from Inquisitorial Forces. We're going to put these guys in A tier. Death Cult Assassins. These models never look good in their resin. Oh, I forgot the name of this model. But it is very classic 40k, which I do like. But I just can't remember her name. But still, I do like this model. I like the robes, I like the big staff, I like the podium that I believe is attached to her armor, if I'm not mistaken, or it's like on a hover platform, which is just, it's great. It's classic 40k, but overall it's not my favorite model. The Doge Mata. Doge Mata is fine. I think the pose is a little boring. And I'm not a huge fan of the robed look. And overall, it's just kind of whatever. I don't feel very strongly about it. Probably put it in C tier as well. Here we have Dominions and Celestians, which are just kind of the same kit as the Sisters, but tooled up a little bit. Give them all the fancy details. I like these gals. They're the same kit, so I'm not going to discriminate against them for any reason. Oh, the Pipe Organ Artillery is so perfect. I don't think you can... Like, if you build a Sisters list, you have to bring one of these. It's just so ridiculous. Like, how could you not? It's just so perfect. Next up, we have the Hospitaller. Hospitaller? What am I? Hospitaller. Uh, the Hospitaller is a pretty good model as far as medic models go. She's one of my favorite. Still below like the Apothecary, but I really like this model. The Dying Sister's great. Little cherub, dove things flying around. This is a good one. We'll probably put it right behind the Argo-Flagellants. Here's that standard bearer I was talking about. This model is awesome. The Magifier, I believe it's called. This is an easy S tier model. I just think it looks sick. The pose is awesome. The giant Sisters standard, whatever. I don't know the lore of it. I just think it's awesome. Here we have the Immolator, which is the Sisters Rhino back. The stained glass looks awesome. Heavy flamers are a favorite of mine. This is a very solid model, but it is still just kind of a Rhino, so we're going to put it in B tier, but above the... No, put it in A, because the stained glass is really cool, ahead of her. Junith Eruita, very cool pedestal she's standing on with the twin heavy flamers and the giant eagle across its front. This is a very cool model. I'm not a huge fan of Junith Eruita herself. I think she's the weakest part of her own model. If I was to get this, I would keep the stand, but just probably change a little bit about Eruita. But still, I can't deny that this is a cool model. Next up, we have the Missionary, who is an old resin model. He looked good for resin, sort of. I'd probably put him below the Crusaders. Penitent Engine and Mortifiers. These are cool. Sort of the Sisters Dreadnought, if you will. I like the Mortifier more than the Penitent Engine, because I like the sarcophagus look. But these models are cool. I have no problem... Ooh, I right-clicked. I have no problems with these guys. I think these actually are just Mortifiers, though, because the Penitent Engines are here. Mortifiers, we'll put them in A tier, above the Argo-Flagellants. Here we have Morbius. This is a great model. I think it's a very solid centerpiece. The gold, obviously you can paint it however you want, but I think it looks really good in gold. And the Nundams are pretty cool. That's really all there is to it, isn't there? Probably put it around the Demonifuge. The Palatine is unfortunate. It's just a sister of battle with like an iron halo and some rosary beads, which is fine, but it's nothing special. I'm gonna put her up ahead of the Canoness. The Nundams. I do like the Nundams. I think they look cool. Yeah, what more is there to say? They can take cool swords, or cool maces, or cool halberds, I think. No, swords or maces. Halberds are from the Celestians. These gals, are very cool. And I'm going to put them next to Morbius. Here we have the Penitent Engines, which I'm going to group with the Argo-Flagellants just because they occupy the same space in my mind. Preacher. Hideous. Sisters Repentia. The Sisters Repentia are cool. I wish they were maybe a bit more visually interesting, which is a strange thing to say. But honestly, I kind of wish they had almost like leather armor from Fallout instead of just like the leather chest piece. I get they're trying to die, but like I just think they could use, I don't know, something. I just think they look a little uninteresting, honestly. They kind of just look like regular people with big chainsaws. Sister Superior looks nice though. Where are we gonna put the? Probably in B tier. Yeah. Retributors. I mean, how can we not? They're just sick. They're, sisters with big guns. What's not to like, really? Here we have the Rhino. And a rhino's a rhino's a rhino. The Sisters Rhino does look nice. I like all the details. We'll put it next to the, behind Junith. These are the Seraphim, I believe, are the ones with the akimbo pistols. I can't remember between these two. Seraphim are cool. Akimbo pistols are criminally underrepresented in 40k. And yes, I know they're not realistic, but don't bring that to me when we're talking about 40k. Overall, I like these. I like the jump pack that they have. The winged look is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, these gals are probably going to go right behind the Celestian Sacrosancts. And we'll throw the sword ones in there too, just ahead, because I like the swords more than the pistols. Sisters Novitiates. I don't know. I've never been the biggest fan of these ones, these gals, if you will. I think that this is closer to what I wish Repentia looked like, but like slightly less fancy than the novitiates do. Overall, still fine models, model-wise, but they don't do much for me. We have Saint Celestine, who looks fantastic. I mean, giant wings, borne aloft on the scrolls. The two, what are they called? Sisters. They're not Sister Superiors, because those are the ones that lead the whatever. The two fancy seraphim with her. They actually, I'm glad they're included, but I think they look a little strange. I don't know, something about them, they just don't look right. Probably because they're next to Celestine is why they look so weird. But Celestine is easy S tier, behind the pipe organ, though. The Triumph of St. Catherine, which is a very strange model for 40k because, obviously, it's a giant display piece more than anything. But it's a cool model. I like all the cherubs. Cherubs are cool, and we don't see them too often these days. Not that we really ever did. It was pretty much just Devastators and similar that had cherubs. But it's nice to see some more cherubs. I like the stairs, though. I'm not the biggest fan. Like, with Epic Heroes, I'd prefer if I can convert it to be not specifically that character. It just shares the silhouette. This model, you can't do that, because it is a giant procession moving down a set of marble stairs. Which does make it hard to convert things for, which is what I prefer to do with Epic Heroes. But still, this is an awesome model, and I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. I'm going to put it ahead of Junith. I think the Hospitaller? We'll call it Hospitaller. Is too high up. There we go. And finally, the newest edition, we have the Jump Pack Canoness, who looks fine. I'm not in love with this design. I think the armor and everything looks cool. I think the posing's fine. It's a little too similar to the sisters that are with Celestine, though. I prefer the double chainsword one, but I just grabbed this picture. The two-handed chainsword, where she's looking forward, looks much better. And for that, I'm going to put her just ahead of the Castigator. Anyways, I've been Spoons Rattling. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.